Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, Rock and Roll Spot Convention with my review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So, last night went saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, what is the movie about? This is why I take notes, by the way. Spider-Man, 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 Spider-Woman, Spider, and Spider-Ham save the multiverse from Kingpin and his goons. So, quick takes. So, a fun Spider-Man movie for both casual and hardcore Spider-Man fans. The animation style reminded me quite often of the film A Scanner Darkly, which is a very different type of movie, but also one I would recommend, at least if you like weird sci-fi. Anyway, who's in the cast? First off, we got Shameik Moore as Miles Morales, later Spider-Man, who later becomes Spider-Man. A mild-mannered teenager attending a private school in New York City, after being bitten by a radioactive spider, gains various spider-related powers, and by the end of the movie takes on the mantle of Spider-Man. Next up, we got Jake Johnson as Peter Benjamin Parker / Spider-Man. Web-slinging, wall-crawling hero from another Earth. Has not had the best time of things. Rather, has had his ups and has had his downs. And more downs. And, well, yeah, it's Spider-Man. Haley Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy / Spider-Woman, better known as Spider-Gwen, though. Web-slinging, wall-crawling, drum-playing heroine from yet another Earth. Saved her dad, couldn't save her best friend. Hiding out, and also hiding out on Miles' Earth as a classmate of Miles'. Mahershala Ali as Uncle Aaron / the Prowler. Miles' uncle on his dad's side. Also one of Kingpin's goons as the Prowler. Enjoy spending time with Miles, who also enjoys spending time with him, much to Miles' father's chagrin. Speaking of Miles' father, Brian Tyree Henry as Jefferson Davis, Miles' father. A police officer with some very strong anti-Spider-Man feelings. Lily Tomlin voices Aunt May, aunt of the late Peter Parker, gives Miles her blessing to continue in Peter's place, as well as some equipment. Luna Lauren Velez as Rio Morales, Miles' mother, who is a nurse. I'm presuming she's like it, much like in the comics, she's head nurse at the hospital she's at, but it does not really specify, and I hate to say it, but her appearances in the movie are pretty much just, she's Miles' mother, she's a nurse, and her and Miles' father are together. To what degree? They don't really say, but yeah. Anyway, Zoe Kravitz as Mary Jane Parker, widow of Peter Parker. John Mulaney as Peter Porker / Spider-Ham, anthropomorphic pig with spider and cartoon powers. Actually, also formerly a pig bitten by formerly a spider bitten by a radioactive pig who became Spider-Ham. No, really. But anyways, yeah, spider and cartoon powers. What do we mean by cartoon powers? Oh, pulling a mallet out of nowhere and beating someone on the head with it, having an anvil to drop on someone from high up, stuff like that. Kimiko Glenn as Penny Parker, the human co-pilot of the biomechanical suit Spider. SP /DR. It's supposed to be, Spider. Nicolas Cage, yes, that Nicolas Cage, as Spider-Man Noir, a black and white private detective from yet another Earth. Fascinated by Rubik's Cube. Catherine Hahn as Olivia Octavius / Doc Ock. Dr. Octopus, Doc Ock, pick your pick. head scientist at Alchemax, and one of Kingpin's goons. Liev Schreiber as Wilson Fisk. Kingpin of crime, pretty much no matter what Earth you're on. Chris Pine as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. First Spider-Man on Miles' Earth. Anyway, on to the spoiler-free breakdown of the movie. Alright, so, in Act 1, we're introduced to Spider-Man, the web-slinging hero and celebrity of New York, as well as Miles Morales. As I said, mild-mannered high school student. Also, we meet Miles' parents and Miles' Uncle Aaron. One day after school, Miles and his uncle tag an engineering quarter off the subway, and Miles is bitten by a spider. Next day, hijinks ensue as Miles discovers his spider powers. This includes a mishap with the hair of his new classmate, Gwanda? Gwanda. After this, Miles goes back to the engineering corridor to get a look at the spider that bit him, discovering that it is far from a normal spider. After this, he stumbles onto a fight between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin, and is at one point rescued by Spider-Man, leading both to realize that they're two of a kind. The fight spills into a secret lab of the Kingpin, where he has a super collider, which Spider-Man tries to stop from destroying the city, though he does get dragged through it by Green Goblin a little bit, and gives Miles a thumb drive before going after the Kingpin and getting killed in the process. Yeah, it was kind of, Kingpin kills Spider-Man. Act 2 begins. It begins with the city holding a massive funeral for Spider-Man, culminating in Mary Jane Parker eulogizing her late husband. Later, Miles visits Peter's grave, as he has no idea what to do from there, and because Peter kind of did say train Miles. While there, Miles meets none other than a different, slightly older, Spider-Man. And eventually, Miles convinces, guilts, this Spider-Man into training him. Also, Miles shows Spider-Man the now very damaged thumb drive, leading the two to go to Alchemax. While there, they learn that Alchemax's head scientist is none other than Dr. Olivia Octavius, better known as Dr. Octopus. Miles and Spider-Man fight Doc Ock as they make their escape with her computer and run into Spider-Woman, who reveals herself to be Gwen Stacy, Miles' new classmate, whose name is very much not Gwanda. Along the way, allowing all three to escape together with the computer. Anyway, Miles, Spider-Man, and Spider-Woman in Act 3, Miles, Spider-Man, and Spider-Woman go to Aunt May's to potentially rebuild the thumb drive. When they arrive, May is rather okay with the whole alternate universe concept. In part because three other spider people have shown up with similar stories. In that Earth's Spider Cave, it's the best way to put it. It's basically Spider-Man's Bat Cave, and calling it the Spider Web just sounds lame. Though it makes more sense, I will fully admit that. And I'm the one calling it that, not anybody else. So, yeah. Also, it's full with all manner of Easter eggs. I mean, all manner. But they fix the thumb drive and form a plan, though the plan changes when Miles can't use his powers on command. As they're getting ready to leave, Kingpin and his goons arrive, and a revelation is made to Prowler, whose identity Miles has already discovered. Heartbreakingly discovered the identity of. After returning to his dorm room, Miles is eventually benched from the plan and webbed to his chair by Spider-Man. Surprise from his dad helps Miles figure out how to control his powers, and he goes to join the others. Act 4. After a brief visit to Aunt May, where he gets a costume and web shooters, Miles joins the others at Fisk Tower, which has a secret elevator leading to the underground lab. After they arrive, a fight breaks out between the Spider Gang and Kingpin's goons while the collider is activated, and remains so for far too long, which nearly destroys the multiverse. The only hope being, of course, the thumb drive, while the Spider Gang, of course, makes their way home. Now, post credits. Stick around. You'll be glad you did. Trust me. Very, very glad you stuck around for the post credits scene. Believe me, it was worth it. All right, so ups and downs of the movie. The ups. It was very fun and engaging. It retells Spider-Man's origin in a quick and easy manner without showing a certain incident. And it does this twice. And in all honesty, none of the origin stories feel like they're filler. It's kind of, okay, this is my story. And while, yes, you're being told, you're also being shown. So it doesn't do the whole, it shows and it shows and tells, I should say. The Easter eggs, and which reference every incarnation of Spider-Man ever. Solid voice cast. I mean, yeah, very good voice cast. Some of them I really hadn't. Some of them I've probably no doubt heard in other animated properties, but this is the first time I've really looked into it. I thought the story was interesting. It's a good adaptation of the story that initially brought together the primary Marvel Spider-Man, or the primary Spider-Man and Miles Morales. There's some interesting villain redesigns. I'm especially digging the redesigned Dr. Octopus. Dr. Olivia Octavius is quite the interesting, quite the nice take, and honestly looks better than most versions of Otto. I think, well, really every version of Otto Octavius. Scorpion is it's interesting to say the least. Different, very different, but interesting. All right, so the downs. I mean, you can't have ups without downs, right? All the spider characters who are from modern day based Earths seem to have their scientific know-how almost completely washed away. There's nothing said about Peter making his web fluid from either of the Peter Parker Spider-Mans. Because, you got to keep in mind that Spider-Man made all of that. All of his web fluid, his web shooters, his spider trait, so much stuff he made. And it's kind of just, like I said, just kind of washes it away. Really don't like the Kingpin design. It looks goofy. It's hard to take him seriously as a villain, even after he kills Spider-Man. This was a big thing to me, and this was another big thing for me. When Spider-Woman revealed herself to be Gwen Stacy. Yeah, Miles' reaction. Oh, hey, you're girl from school, okay. But Peter is just like, okay, cool. He didn't. Now, and he should react. It's implied that Peter, his life has largely followed the adventures of the comics, whereas the Peter from Miles' Earth, kind of other things, including Spider-Man 3's dance number, but we don't talk about that. But this, like I said, it implies that Spider-Man has lived through largely Spider-Man's comic book adventures, which means Gwen Stacy's death. And for him to just be like, oh, hey, to meet a living Gwen Stacy in the multiverse and not be like, what? You're Gwen Stacy? Yeah, I don't know. I know they were trying to build the relationship between Miles and Gwen, but still, I mean that it's a huge moment in Spider-Man history. All right, so overall opinion, it was probably the funnest superhero movie since the first Ant-Man. I legit had fun watching this too. And it's definitely the best Spider-Man movie by far since, well, that was done just by Sony since Spider-Man 2. So yeah, it was, but yeah, it's a good movie. I highly recommend it. My final rating, easily 4 out of 5. Anyway, that is it for today. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to receive notifications as to when I put up new videos. Links to my social media and Patreon in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Stock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.